talk about what branding is. You all came in here going, artist branding, okay, what is artist branding to you? What does that word mean? What is that idea? What are you coming in here to get? Tell me what you want from this session.
Presence.
Presence? Like finding your presence? Cool. What I find happens a lot is an artist signed to a label spends 2 years knowing who they are, mostly by knowing what they're not, and saying no to a lot of things, right? No, not that, that's not me, no that, no that. And in that process, they know less of themselves, but more about what they don't want. And then after they leave the label, get dropped, change, they spend the next 2 to 4 years going, I get to make the choices now, and I have a little more clarity because I know it's not this stuff, so now how do I find me? And that takes another 2 to 4 years. It takes an average of 7 to 10 years to find your voice as an artist. I think it takes a little longer right now because of social media. And because the process of development is pretty gone, right? The opportunities to play all the time and tour all the time. Artists used to tour before you knew who you were. And things are a little bit, we don't have all that support for artists now. But it is on average 7 to 10 years. I like to shrink that time for you and also make it less painful of wandering. But everything that you talked about is it, right? It's who am I? How do I show up? How am I in the world? I remember when I was a kid, and like I said, I started working when I was 8. So it was, oh, you're a singer? Do you do opera? And I was like, what? I mean, not that anything's wrong with opera, but what about me is saying to you I do opera? Because I was an R&B singer. So I was like, right there, I knew, there is a serious disconnect between my exterior and my interior. I was the good girl in my family. Woo. I am tattooed, I had a nose ring. Like, I was called the good girl, and I had to play that role, and it was killing me. And it was actually when I was about 31 that I was like, Wendy, you've always wanted a nose ring, you've always wanted tattoos, when are you doing this thing? And literally right then and there, New York City, about midnight, I was like, I can find a place right now. Don't do that. Later, I did what I usually do, which is find the best person who does this job, right? And then I saw Corey, and he was fantastic. But my point was, at midnight, I'm like, this is it. This is the time right now. I'm no longer going to be this good girl that I'm not. I'm not going to fill a role that I was told to fill. Everybody has a bunch of ideas that come from the outside. And now they're in your head, and you think that those are your ideas. So my job as a coach is to empower the artist and empower you to be true to you, to find your voice. And we go from vocals to visual to brand. Everything telling the same story. Everything so consistently you. And to do this, you need to know who you are.